Hey, what's up, everybody? This is King Von. Of course, welcome to another episode. Excuse me. Good evening, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Victorious Ones podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Victorious Ones podcast, the place where gaming meets comics, meets sports, meets movies, as well as inspiration, along with music as well. Of course, I'm your host, King Von Jr. You can follow me on social media on Twitter/X at 301 King Von Jr. You can also follow the show's Twitter/X page at Victory Pod One. I'm also on Instagram at Mr. King Von Jr. You can also follow me on. You can also follow the show's Instagram page at Victorious Ones Podcast. Of course, I'm also a social media producer for the unpopular reviews wrestling show Perfect Plex Talk Radio on Mondays at 6 p.m. Hosted by none other than friend of the program, Mike Knox. And of course, this is definitely going to be a pretty big show, as I always say. But yeah, of course, first and foremost, the particulars out the way. I just want to say that thanks to Fantasy Faction on Instagram, I'm officially the Fantasy Faction champion. After this past Saturday's World Rumble, we're definitely going to get into more of that pretty soon. It's pretty much going to be the focus of tonight's episode, among many other things going on. By the way, like I said, congratulations to the Royal Rumble winners, Charlotte Flair and Jey Uso, who are both also part of my faction. So I definitely got bonus points with that. But like I said, just to get some of the particulars out the way, like I said, and by the way, for those that are watching by way of YouTube, go to youtube.com / @Von West Virginia. Please make sure like and subscribe for more great content. And so, I must say that this definitely was a huge weekend just in the world of entertainment in general. Of course, there was something called the Royal Rumble, followed by a certain musical award show some of y'all may have heard of called the Grammys. I'm definitely gonna get into that, and I'm also gonna give my predictions of the Super Bowl. So. So first and foremost, I definitely also want to talk about the trailer that just came out for the Fantastic Four. I saw it, and I am certainly amazed by it. I'm definitely looking forward to this MCU adaptation of the Fantastic Four now that Disney and Marvel Studios have full authority over and the rights to these characters. So I certainly believe that they'll definitely do them justice. Pedro Pascal looks amazing as Mr. Fantastic. I like the overall casting around them. I definitely like to see Galactus' shadow. Thankfully, he's not just some giant cloud. I'm glad that Marvel has been righting those wrongs. So hopefully this will be another course correction when it comes to moving in the right direction going into Phase 5. So like I say, overall, I'll definitely, pleasantly surprised by it, very well pleased by it, by what I saw in the trailer. Next up, of course, like I said, there's a whole lot going on. I want to go into my Super Bowl prediction, and this Sunday coming up in New Orleans is going to be Super Bowl 59 with a rematch. A rematch. I want to say it's Super Bowl 57. I want to say, I hope I get my numbers wrong, but yeah, as far as that, it was a rematch of the Eagles and Chiefs. So once again, we're gonna have Patrick Mahomes versus Jalen Hurts, and I know the Eagles definitely opt. As much as I want to see Saquon, get a Super Bowl ring after the way the Giants treated them. I thought it was completely dirty, the way the organization carried them the way they did. But in the end, realistically, I see the Chiefs taking it in a three-peat, being the first team in NFL history to have a three-peat when it comes to the Super Bowl. That's been unheard of in football. They've done it before. In basketball, when it into this Bill Russell Celtics, who obviously won 8 straight rather with that one. Jordan's Bulls did it twice. Then you had the Shaq and Kobe Lakers in the early 2000s, 2000 through 2002. Um, so it's definitely been done before in basketball, like it's nothing. So it's been done before in Major League Baseball. Like it's been done before in baseball as well. With the Oakland A's, like with it three-peat in the 70s, I believe there's some other teams even after that, before and after, or afterwards or whatever. But when it comes to football, that's completely different dynamic altogether. So it'd be very impressive, very intriguing to see if Kansas City can actually pull that off. So that's my prediction. When it comes to the score, I'm going. I'll go. You know what? I'll go 35-21. And Pat Mahomes would be, once again, my Super Bowl MVP. So those are my predictions when it comes to the Super Bowl. And as we said before, and I'll say it again, this podcast covers a variety of things. Even though wrestling is a chief, demographic of very much a core audience of this podcast. Obviously, with the shirt, you can get it on BigCartel.com. Myself with the championship belt. You know what I mean? So I'm literally wearing, wearing a picture of myself in this a side-by-side reflection of it. You know what I mean? Of course, minus the sunglasses, but it's hand in hand. But yeah, of course, I definitely have to represent and promote, especially because matter of fact, speaking of that, plenty of merch, on victoriousones.bigcartel.com. So just wanted to, a little shameless cheap plug like Nick Foley. But but yeah, like I said, as far as that, that's my Super Bowl prediction. And also coming up, I also want to talk about this year with the Grammys. This is probably the best Grammys I've seen in a long time, or at least, this is a Grammy Awards that's not really clouded with a lot of controversy outside of Kanye and his new wife and her wardrobe malfunction or wherever, or lack thereof, lack of a wardrobe in the first place, outside of that part, but when it comes to, and another controversy, of course, with the way Babyface was disrespected on the red carpet. I thought that was absolutely foul, to the point, with the reporters, at least one of them, had to apologize and completely deactivate her social media altogether, as she should, well deserved. Couldn't have happened to a nicer person. You know what I mean? So it just goes to show, the bullying can be a good thing online. In that case, when you disrespect, an icon, a songwriting legend. You know what I mean? So, someone who's got a Hall of Fame resume like Babyface, you deserve to be put in your place. Hey, I ain't gonna rhyme like that, but yeah, but of course, like I said, outside of that, you know what I mean? Like I said, other than that, like I said, outside of that, the award show itself, I think from a presentation standpoint, like I said, it was great, especially with the way, that community really united and got together as a united front to support, the families, who lost everything in those LA wildfires. And so I think that impact really resonated, and it manifests in the way that this year's Grammys, just played out. You know what I mean? And really, like I said, it weren't really any controversial picks, that happened on Sunday night. So, of course, first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to Beyonce for finally winning Album of the Year. She's been nominated a gazillion times, but she's finally has an Album of the Year Grammy. For the Cowboy Carter album. You know what I mean? So for her to finally get that accolade, that achievement that she's been, definitely been searching for the longest time, and put out amazing work year after year, time after time, to be up for consideration, and to be snubbed so many times to the point, where people, constantly saying online, that's why it's best for her to go to the BET Awards or whatever it is, but clearly she doesn't really do that like that anymore. Um, that's her prerogative, but like I say, this was just a matter of patience. It's just to keep putting that stuff out there, and eventually you're going to get rewarded. You know what I mean? And so she's got a 32-time Grammy winner. So I'll look it up again. But she's won multiple Grammys, but this is the first time she's ever won, Album of the Year. So, and also she won the Grammy for best country, like a best country song. So as far as that, this ain't Texas, but hey, of course, congratulations to her, and for her, to cross over and take a huge leap of faith. I mean, to bet on herself like that, you know what I mean, and venture out into a completely different genre altogether. Obviously, she's not the first Black woman to win, to win a country Grammy. So the Pointer Sisters are one, and I know that there's some other ones that didn't mention, but she's definitely in that category now. So, like I said, congratulations to her, and and also, like I said, congratulations to Doechii, for being the third, for becoming the third female rap artist to win best rap album of the year at the Grammys. So the other two, ever since, and matter of fact, she even mentioned it in her acceptance speech, that best rap album award was introduced in 1989 with Will Smith winning Mr. Fresh Prince. Fresh Prince and DJ Jazzy Jeff winning for Parents Just Understand or something, whatever. Or he's the DJ and the rap, whatever that the album was that they won and they boycott and whatever. But anyway, like I said, Will was the first one. But since that time, since it was introduced, there have only been 3 female rap artists, female hip hop artists that have won that award for rap album of the year. The first one was Lauryn Hill for Miss Education, Lauryn Hill. The second one was Cardi B for Invasion of Privacy, and the third is Doechii. I forgot what the name of the album was, but still, of course, the song now is referenced like all over the place. So, so of course, so by the way, congratulations to her once again. And I believe she won for best rap performance as well, I believe. But yeah, like I said, she's a Grammy winner. Tim's won 2 Grammys on Sunday. And of course, especially for her work on that latest album or debut album, Born in the Wild. So, and matter of fact, I played that nonstop, like with no skips. Fantastic. So I predicted, I called it, that she was going to be awarded, that she was going to walk away with the Grammy off of this album. Like, so, let alone 2. I knew that she was not going to walk away empty-handed. So she was definitely a huge pick, for me as far as that. So like I said, as I said, Beyonce, Doechii, Tim's, SZA also won a Grammy. Rhapsody won a Grammy. Roxanne Shante won like a Lifetime Achievement Grammy or something. But the biggest star of them all, was Kendrick Lamar for winning 5 Grammys in one night for Not Like Us. The very first time there's ever been a rapper who has won, who has won not only 1 Grammy but multiple Grammys for a diss track. First time a rapper has ever won a Grammy for a diss song. And to the point where when he got up for the record of the year, and everybody was singing the A minor part, I said, yeah, this is Drake is cooked. He is toast. He is finished. R.I.P. to R.B. Graham's career. You know what I mean? And so the fact, and also like everybody's been pointing out that Kendrick won 5 Grammys in one night, the same amount that Drake has for his entire career. Kendrick won 5 Grammys in one night. Meanwhile, Drake only has 5 albums for his entire career. And so Kendrick is a 22-time Grammy winner, I believe he is. So of course, this is nothing new for him to be this decorated. But yeah, like I said, as far as 25 Grammys, coverage of 2025 Grammys. So like I said, it was a fantastic night. Like I said, Kendrick was the king of the Grammys. He was the Grammys MVP. So he joined. So he was able to get that iconic, legendary photo operation on all the Grammys, in both arms. You know what I mean? So having them all cradled together. So he joins the likes of Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Lauryn Hill, and Kanye as other artists who won multiple Grammys in one night and held them all together like that. Also when it comes to, if you want to include producers, Quincy Jones as well. So Kendrick is an elite company. This dude is a first ballot Rock and Roll Hall of Famer when it's time for his name to come up for nomination. Oh, he's definitely going in right. Right off the bat. No hesitation, no questioning, no denial at all whatsoever. He's going to be first ballot, just like Tupac, Biggie, and Jay-Z. You know what I mean? And also Eminem as well. Like I said, Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Eminem. When it comes to being first ballot solo Hall of Famers. So I definitely see Kendrick in that category. Kendrick is solidified top 5 of all time, and when it comes to my list, he's up there with Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas, and Kendrick is right there within that 5th spot. It doesn't matter what order it is. Like I say, I just named the order, but yeah, like I say, as far as that, Kendrick Lamar is cemented as top 5 all time. I don't care what nobody says. That's what it is. He's like when it comes to cultural impact, when it comes to his resume, when it comes to his lyricism and creativity and things like that, his catalog. It speaks for itself. You know what I mean? So yeah, like I said, congratulations to K-Dot, and I also want to say, it was great to see The Weeknd perform again, because there was a point where he boycotted the Grammys, and so apparently, behind the scenes, they found a way to make amends. I'm happy to see that. Because someone like The Weeknd is way too talented, to not be, that type of consideration, whatever, at least, for his work to not be recognized. So when it comes to the Grammys, and also one last thing, there was, David did a tribute to Quincy Jones. I say Stevie was the best part of that. Janelle Monáe thing. Yeah, okay, whatever. but yeah, overall, I was very, very much, very pleased with the Grammys. Like this, wasn't like any glaring snubs, let's just say, when it came to this year's Grammys. So I've already covered, like a Fantastic Four trailer, my Super Bowl predictions, my Grammy review. And so now it's time for what we've all been waiting for, the week in wrestling. So I'm going to go into Go Home show for Friday Night SmackDown, where we have Chelsea Green versus Michin for the U.S. title, DIY and Pretty Deadly versus Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garzas, Naomi versus Liv Morgan, Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes. And over this segment, Here's with Joe Tessitore. He's in the ring and welcomes Kevin Owens to speak about his upcoming match against Cody Rhodes, which is a ladder match. So he's able to give KO a chance to speak his mind in the spirit of fairness. Of course, Kevin Owens expresses anger before taking the Eagle belt off the hangers and saying he would get the other one on Saturday. As well as CM Punk to a huge pop. Punk didn't come out to pick a fight, but did say that he would win the Rumble, come for whoever wins between KO and Rhodes. See about that later. But yeah, like I said, the prize fighter Kevin Owens ended up saying several insulting things to CM Punk. So Punk started firing back. He brought KO losing the Rumble, Paul again under the skin. And so of course the segment ended with no violence. The direction was clear. That Kevin Owens and CM Punk did a great job setting up an eventual feud. I definitely want to see that, especially since Punk is back. Like I said, while leading one at the table. But yeah, look forward to KO versus Punk in the future. And they did a great job of planting the seeds without as much as laying a finger on each other. So it was definitely salvaged to do something like in a very entertaining way. And so of course definitely got to see. Like I said, it just a sign of things to come. Next up, we have Jimmy Uso versus Carmelo Hayes. The winner of this match, Jimmy Uso. And so yeah, it's like I said, not too much when it came to advancing Carmelo Hayes, but I think just give it time. Gradually, I think that there are more people going to be invested. They're going to be invested in Melo. And then next up we have Chelsea Green versus Lee Chen. The winner by DQ, Lee Chen. Then we have DIY and Pretty Deli versus MCMG, Motor City Machine Guns, and Los Garzas. The winners of this match, the Machine Guns and Los Garzas. And and also there's a video package that was playing for Charlotte Flair, the Hyper return. It was definitely very well made. It was excellently done, and Charlotte declaring that she was going to win the Women's World Rumble, and and so on. So of course, so of course we also saw WWE air footage of Triple H being told that he was going to the Hall of Fame. Shout out to Shawn Michaels and the Undertaker for being able to surprise them the way that they did. Congratulations to Triple H for going to the WWE Hall of Famer. He's going to be the headliner for the Clash of 2025 in Las Vegas. Next up, we have Naomi versus Liv Morgan, and the winner of this match, Naomi. We have The Miz versus Andrade. The winner of this match, Andrade. We also have LA Knight and Damian Priest versus Tama Tonga and Jacob Fatu. The winners of this match, Damian Priest and LA Knight. But Jacob Fatu, this dude chooses violence. This dude is ruthless. If I were to compare him, if I were to do a common comparison for him, more likely I'm looking at Sabretooth at this point, because this guy, Jacob, is relentless. He is ruthless. He is reckless, man. And look, I love him. You know what I mean? So as far as the recent version of the Bloodline, where they changed the name now, when it comes to Solo, Jacob, and the Tongans, I would go with Jacob as number one. I'd say he's the biggest breakout star out of that faction. And so next up, the biggest thing that I want to talk about is this year's Royal Rumble, which took place at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana, home of the Indianapolis Colts. Pat McAfee's former team, but most importantly, of course, most importantly, the team that Hall of Fame Peyton Manning spent the majority of his illustrious NFL career with. I would say that Peyton is the greatest player that franchise has ever had. Well, all due respect to Johnny U, but I'm just saying, like I say, that's the house that Peyton built. But yeah, as far as that, the road to WrestleMania 40 kicked off Saturday night in Indianapolis with the 2025 Royal Rumble. So top stars such as John Cena, Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul headlined the men's Rumble, while the return of Charlotte Flair stood out among a variety of field that a steep competition of women on the roster that include former winners Bailey and Bianca Belair in this contest, along with the likes of Nia Jax, Liv Morgan, just to name a few. And so, of course, we're going to see who emerge victorious from those 30-person matchups on the way to the Showcase of the Immortals in Las Vegas from April 19th through the 20th at Allegiant Stadium for WrestleMania. We also saw Cody Rhodes defend his undisputed WWE Championship against Kevin Owens in a ladder match. And so we'll definitely have to see what awaited. And of course the Royal Rumble actually started off with the women's Royal Rumble match. And by the way, of course, I saw the Royal Rumble on Saturday at a watch party in Crystal City here in the DMV area. And so, like I said, it was great. Shout out to the DMV wrestling fans. Of course, hosted by a friend of the program, Greg Miller. So if you happen to be watching, what's up? So so I want to say thank you very much for hosting that event, and I was definitely very much I thoroughly enjoyed myself. It was a great time. It was hilarious, especially when it came to those fan reactions and so many different stories. But other than that, of course, moving on. Like I said, start off with the women's Royal Rumble match, and so in order of appearance, number 1 was Io Sky, number 2 Liv Morgan, number 3 Roxanne Perez, who looked like a champ, looked like an MVP in this match, but that's another story. Like I said, number 1 Io Sky, number 2 Liv Morgan, number 3 Roxanne Perez, number 4 Lyra Valkyria, number 5 Chelsea Green, number 6 B Fab, 7 Ivy Nile, 8 Zoe Stark, 9 Lash Legend, 10 EST Bianca Belair, 11 Shayna Baszler, 12 Bailey, 13 Sonya Deville, 14 Maxine Dupree, 15 Naomi, 16 Jada Parker, 17 Piper Niven, 18 Natalia, 19 Jordan Grace, 20 Michin, 21 Alexa Bliss, 22 Zelina Vega, 23 Candice LeRae, 24 Stephanie Valkyrie, 25 Trish Stratus, 26 Raquel Rodriguez, 27 the Queen Charlotte Flair, 28 Julia, 29 Nia Jax, and number 30, surprise, Nikki Bella. Charlotte Flair returned to WWE Saturday night after being off for an entire year and was back on the road to WrestleMania 41 after winning the second Royal Rumble match of her career. So the Queen marked the first match back in over a year with a monumental victory that casually returns to the biggest stage in the history of the big stage in all wrestling after missing last year's, as I said before, last year's Rumble because of injury. So far, I will say that some of the standouts, Io Sky definitely did her thing. When it comes to female high flyers, she's among the best, if not the very best of them all. Roxanne Perez exceeded expectations. And for her to last as long as she did on Saturday night, for someone who's still in NXT, the future is definitely very much bright for her when it's time to go to the main roster. And so on. Of course, you have Lyra Valkyria, Chelsea Green, doing what she does best, be comedic relief. Lash Legend, she definitely had a great performance. And as I said before, Lash is growing by leaps and bounds. Whether it was the tag match metaphor versus Bianca and Naomi, and that sequence where her and Bianca, as far as that, or even even that mixed women's tag match in Saudi, where her and Jade, had their had that face off and just throwing blows like Vader and Bam Bam type of thing. Actually, the thing is, Lash Legend is definitely improving her skills and just being on full display. Like I said, and also I'm also like that sequence, like that part of the Royal Rumble. It was Lash, Bianca, Naomi, and I want to say it was B-Fab as well, something. And so it's like they're all crowded up together, and Chelsea Green finds a way to to get to know that. I thought that was hilarious. You know what I mean? So, so as far as that, like I said, as far as like I said, when it comes to the women's Royal Rumble, which you already know what Bianca's going to do. You know what I mean? She's the EST for a reason. Of course, you had some. Of course, you had Natalia's veteran presence. Bailey, is former Royal Rumble winner herself, as I said before. Jordan Grace, of course, being very impressive herself. Trish Stratus, the legendary Hall of Famer Trish Stratus, that is. You know what I mean? Like I said, just exceeding expectations. And Trish looks amazing for someone who's on the doorstep of 50. You know what I mean? And of course, Charlotte being Charlotte, super Charlotte, or whatever you want to call it. She was definitely the standard. She's definitely the bar that everyone else is measured by. And Nia Jax being Nia Jax, Nia Jackson. Nia eliminated six women at once, with a total of 9 altogether. And many eliminations included Liv Morgan, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair, along with Trish Stratus as well. Of course, that did not adversely affect one of the better women's Rumbles matches in recent memory. There was still a lot of downtimes at points in a few instances where there were too many women in the match, just kind of like just not really having too much to do. But other than that, other few lulls here and there. At first, there were people who thought that AJ Lee was going to be last, either her or Becky Lynch, like either one of them, someone like that. But I don't think anyone really expected Nikki Bella. Of course, I know I wasn't expecting her myself. But I respect those, who are fans of, of the Bella Twins. I know that they definitely have a very strong fan base. I'm not among them, but it is what it is. As far as that. But anyway, like I said, of course, Abbott Elementary's on right now as well. Of course, a little side note, but yeah, like I said, as far as that, nothing. Some of the other surprises was to see Piper never accidentally eliminated Chelsea Green to create some type of attention, and then Bailey Roxanne Perez squared off, and for Roxanne to last as long as she did was very, very surprising. And it just goes to show, just goes to show like how much that they're invested in her in the future. But like I said, of course, eventually the winner is going to be the queen herself. She definitely understood the assignment. And the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble for 2025 goes to Charlotte Flair. So, this year's Royal Rumble, definitely got off to a great start, great fashion. And one of the highlights was also Jordan Grace's Death Valley driver on Piper Niven. Jordan is known as a juggernaut for a reason. And Alexa Bliss's return definitely drew a huge pop, an enormous reaction, and proved that she remains professionally over in the WWE for being out as long as she's been out. So as far as that, and the fact that Charlotte even had Pyro for a Royal Rumble entrance, that was amazing. And to see the stare down with Julia Semi Bakir and Roxanne Perez versus Bianca Belair, Bailey, and Charlotte Flair was definitely a battle of NXT generations. The past meets the future, present / future. So initially, Nikki Bella's return definitely had a pop, but then when she started, her push-ups, those cheers definitely turned to boos for good reasons, for obvious reasons. That's why I was glad to see Nikki get thrown out. I was like, it was about time. It took him long enough. So yeah, overall, the winner of this match, the queen herself, Charlotte Flair. Then we had the best 2 out of 3 falls match, Motor City Machine Guns versus DIY. The winners of this match, DIY, best 2 out of 3. And And so afterwards, Street Profits attacked DIY, and I jokingly say that since the Street Profits came out wearing all black, Montez got grills and holding up the titles. I jokingly say that WrestleMania is going to be DI versus DIY. Glad to say that. That I came up with that, and so I'm glad to see that it's been catching on as well. So it's just like, especially with the Royal Rumble taking place, in the first day of Black History Month. I thought that was pretty much hilarious. But anyway, so of course, I mean, good. So, this 2 out of 3 Falls match was an unfortunate spot to be in for this night, especially after the Rumble match with so many surprises and a huge one for Charlotte Flair. So it's just like, the bar was set very high, and unfortunately, this tag match, had to follow up with that, and it was definitely the worst spot to be in between the Women's Rumble and ladder match for the WWE Championship. So it's just like, they definitely caught on a raw deal. Next up, we have the ladder match for the Undisputed WWE Championship: Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. And this ladder match with both titles hanging up, it reminded me of WrestleMania 10 when you had Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon in a match to determine who was the undisputed Intercontinental Champion. So for that one, they had the real title that Razor had, and they had the counterfeit title that Shawn had. So it was not. So that's what was just a matter of unifying, the IC title to see who was the true Intercontinental Champion. Cody came out with the modern day WWE Championship. Kevin Owens came out with the Winged Eagle title that they stole from Cody at Saturday night's main event. So the Winged Eagle was the best one of them all. They shot to Bret Hart, our favorite WWF Winged Eagle champion. But of course we saw undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens wage war on each other Saturday night, not only for the most prestigious title in the company, but also with the intent of ending their personal rivalry. This really intense rivalry that they've had. And they did, with the American Nightmare outlasting KO and driving through a ladder with Alabama Slam to put an exclamation point on this battle. So, there's definitely a brutal match that saw some very severe, several high risk taken between them. They definitely took huge damage on those unforgiving ladders in and around the ring, taking very high impact bumps. And there was even a spot in the match where Kevin and Cody are outside the ring, and KO grabs a piece of the ladder and he starts putting it on Cody's throat, and I'm like, it almost looked like KO went to unalive this dude on live television, not live television, but on Peacock. But anyway, like I said, he was taking it to the next level, and especially with KO coming out with that with the Canadian Dream, son of a security systems technician shirt, as a dig to Dusty's American Dream, son of a plumber shirt, and not only that, KO even has red elbow pad similar to the one that Dusty used to wear, and so this definitely KO definitely reminds me of a Canadian version of Dusty, and so KO is definitely like the ultimate troll, So as far as that, and this match was brutal. It was hardcore. It was something that was custom made for both of them. It was definitely for Cody. It was definitely a much needed descent into ruthless aggression that proved that he's more than just a smiling, goody two shoes face of the company. And it was a litmus test to toughen up Cody and add a new element to his story. And it just continues to beg the question. It's just like has the pressure of being champion and the exhaustion of being the face of wrestling in 2025. Push Cody into descent, push him into madness, push him to a darker part of himself that, you know, part of himself that we've never seen before. It's just like has this driven him to the brink of madness to tap into that Homelander U.S. agent side of him. You know what I mean? And it seems like it has. And matter of fact, even as even Sami Zayn got involved as well. But yeah, it's just like the winner of this match is still your undisputed WWE champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And when it comes to non-Rumble matches, this is by far the best one of them all. And that's not saying much. That's not saying much, especially compared to the previous tag match. And last but not least, the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match, the absolute main event of them all. And so, so here it is. Order of appearance. Number 1, Rey Mysterio. Number 2, Penta. Number 3, Chad Gable. Number 4, Carmelo Hayes. Number 5, Santos Escobar. Number 6, Otis. Number 7, Braun Breaker. Number 8, Akira Tozawa, who was attacked by Melo and replaced by YouTuber iShow Speed. That's 1, Rey. 2, Penta. 3, Chad Gable. 4, Carmelo Hayes. 5, Santos Escobar. 6, Otis. Number 7, Braun Breaker. 1, Rey Mysterio. 2, Penta. 3, Chad Gable. 4, Carmelo Hayes. 5, Santos Escobar. Number 6, Otis. Number 7, Braun Breaker. Number 8, went from Tozawa to Speedo, whatever his name is. Actually, so number 8, Speed. Number 9, Sheamus. Number 10, Jimmy Uso. Number 11, Andrade. 12, Jacob Fatu. 13, Luke Kaiser. 14, Miz. 15, Joe Hendry. I believe. 14, Miz. 15, Joe Hendry. 16, Roman Reigns. Like I said, 8, Speed. 9, Sheamus. 8, Speed. 9, Sheamus. 10, Jimmy Uso. 11, Andrade. 12, Jacob Fatu. 13, Luke Kaiser. 14, The Miz. 15, Joe Hendry. I certainly believe. Number 16, Roman Reigns. 17, Drew McIntyre. 18, Finn Balor. 19, Shinsuke Nakamura. 20, Jey Uso. 21, AJ Styles. 22, Braun Breaker. 23, John Cena. 24, CM Punk. 25, Seth Rollins. 26, Dominic Mysterio. 27, Sami Zayn. 28, Damian Priest. 29, LA Knight. Number 30, Logan Paul. And the talk surrounding this year's Royal Rumble is centered around the star-studded lineup of former world champions and future Hall of Famers. Plenty of them to name, just now in that lineup. So it definitely was a surprise, and then it was those stars, and Logan Paul dominated the closing moments of this year's main event. So of course, the bigger star that you are, the longer that you're gonna last in the Rumble, and more likely that you're gonna be among the final ones, to last within the Rumble. And I will say that it was great to see Rey Mysterio and Penta go at it. You know what I mean? And that's definitely a future matchup, and it's definitely a fantasy matchup for real anyway. We also had Chad Gable, aka Kurt Angle Jr. We also had Carmelo Hayes, as the NXT representative. And before I go any further, I must say, as impressive as this men's Royal Rumble was, there were certain disappointments. I find it very odd and disturbing that Melo was the only NXT well, he's on the main roster now, but as far as the only NXT alum on there, so he's the closest one to represent NXT anyway, since he just came up to the main roster. But when it comes to specific NXT talent, there were none in this Royal Rumble. The women had better representation of NXT than the men did. And the main ones that I was looking for were NXT champion Oba Femi and former NXT champion Trick Williams. So for Trick and Oba to not be in the Royal Rumble, especially to kick off Black History Month, I might add, it's very tone deaf. It's very out of touch and very disturbing. But other than that, they definitely the Royal Rumble definitely got definitely got the attention that it needed, especially when it comes to streaming, when it comes to social media, when it comes to Twitch and TikTok and all those things. You know what I mean? So, but anyway, it was a great episode happening. I'm checking out, by the way. But I'm definitely watching repeat. That's another story. But yeah, like I said, as far as and also you see there's a huge Hispanic representation in this Royal Rumble when it comes to Mysterio, Penta, and Santos Escobar. You know what I mean? And as well as Andrade. And of course, I know Saturday they're sharing all kind of different jokes and stuff like that about that. You know what I mean? So of course we know that there's a lot of political themes and playing with WWE, considering who half of them voted for in the first place. But I mean, we know who that is. But whatever. Of course, doesn't mean they're there. But yeah, like I said, other than that, to see Melo as the only black wrestler in the men's Royal Rumble during Black History Month, giving that a huge side eye. But of course, I will say that I definitely did like to see. I definitely laughed with Braun Breaker nailed Speedo with that spear. I thought that was hilarious. He was running from rope to rope. I mean, think about it now. It's still hilarious even right now. But yeah, I mean, he speared this dude in half before eliminating him, and it was a Braun Breaker. Eliminating Otis. So as far as that, I mean, Braun was something very much impressive, especially the current Intercontinental Champion. So I knew he was going to have a big showing, and for him to, for him to spear Roman the way that he did, I was like, oh, before eventually getting eliminated himself. I mean, I was like, oh, like I said, Braun's definitely making a huge name for himself right now. But of course, other than that, late match, CM Punk, like I said, like I said, as far as that, there were, like I said, this match definitely has fair share of rivalries, and late in the match, we saw that CM Punk eliminated both Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. It definitely ignited rage in Rollins, causing him to crash out. We saw him unloading the Tribal Chief with a double stomp, with a double curb stomp on the floor, as well as another double curb stomp on the steel steps. I mean, Seth Rollins just crashed out. And as I said before, the nerve of this guy to crash on a Roman and have this meltdown when it came to Roman, the nerve of him to do that, especially since he's the one who initiated, this feud in the first place. Seth Rollins is the one who planted these seeds. So I've said before, and I've said again, Rollins is not a charity case. He's not a sympathetic figure. The same way I say about Drake. Neither one of them are sympathetic figures. Both of them are very messy, gaslighters, especially when it comes to Rollins. To vilify Roman the way that you do is ridiculous. And Seth Rollins gives off pick-me vibes. Seth Rollins gives off sidekick comedy. player two syndrome, player two complex. You know, we're not going to act like WWE didn't go out of their way to make Seth Rollins a thing. You know, he's had his, because I know there's somebody who follows me, or I follow him back on Twitter. You know, who had an issue with why I had Roman on my list, and he was talking about Seth Rollins in that position, to get those opportunities. I mean, who's to say that he wasn't in the position in the first place? And I could go on. That's another story. I mean, whether it's the triple threat match with Brock Lesnar versus John Cena, Seth cashing the Money in the Bank at Roman's expense to win the WWE Championship, to pull the red carpet out from under him, to Seth Rollins beating John Cena and Brock Lesnar on separate occasions, to Seth Rollins, beating Triple H at WrestleMania before. So, he's had it. He's had his moments. He's had his opportunities. It's just that, he's not as big of a draw to really need him. Clearly the company doesn't see him as someone to be the face of the company, to carry the company. Whereas when you look at Roman in this position, look at the success that WWE has had with him, being at the forefront when it comes to being, being the most profitable that they've ever been, from 2021 down. And just look at those streaming numbers, look at box office numbers and everything like that. Roman is a cash cow. And if Seth Rollins were in that same position, I really do not think the company would do as well. Because when we tried to put Seth in those type of positions, he was never going to be the one, to draw those type of numbers. Plain and simple. You know what I mean? Like I said, no shade to him, but I still like to say that for him to gaslight the way that he does, and point fingers and vilify Roman and to go at him like this, just unnecessary unbridled rage. You know what I mean? Like, come on now. So now it's been confirmed that for one of the WrestleMania main events is going to be a triple threat match: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins versus CM Punk. And Roman has story with both of them. He has history with both of them. And somebody online said that this was, the keep everybody happy main event. Because Roman, of course, you're not going to leave him out of WrestleMania. A guy who's been champ, for 4 years. And he can carry the company the way he has. There's no way you're going to leave him out of WrestleMania main event, especially since he holds the record for most main events at this point now. And meanwhile, Punk and Rollins have never ever been in the main event of WrestleMania. So I guess that was playing in his favor to CM Punk, to make sure that he's involved in the WrestleMania main event in some way, shape, or form. So I guess this is it for him. So we definitely saw some seeds planted for that. Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman, Jacob and Braun continue to have heat. So as far as that, and Logan Paul ended up eliminating CM Punk. You want to talk about something that really pissed me off pretty much. Like I said, as far as that, especially, and Logan Paul definitely has go away. He's somebody that nobody really wants to see. Nobody's checking for. Nobody cares for it all whatsoever. And the fact that he has a 90 on WWE 2K25 yet again is very unsettling to me. And so, in the end, we have Cena, Logan, and Jey Uso. And so, thankfully, Logan gets eliminated, and we have Cena and Jay as the final two, and reminding me of Cena and Batista as the final two, the 2005 Royal Rumble. And Batista will go on to eliminate John Cena last to become the Royal Rumble winner. And when I say that this was a great sequence, I mean both of them. Everybody entered the seat, and Jey Uso ends up, winning miraculously, and he eliminated John Cena, and it was great to see. It was great to see John Cena, do what's best for business, and for Jey Uso to win. So, but yeah, as far as that, for Jey Uso to go to WrestleMania, and apparently it looks like he is. It looks like he has his sights on potentially on Gunther. There's a story right there. The world heavyweight championship. And so as far as that, and it's definitely Jay's time. And in his theme song, it says it's just me loose. So for him to separate himself that much from his brother Jimmy, it's just remarkable. The thing about it is that we look at Jay's work from the pandemic on, from the pandemic on down until now. Why shouldn't he? He's definitely putting the work, especially with that that storyline with Roman, and to see his progression as a character to be put into that main event spot. He's truly main event Jey Uso now. But it was that really started to become a thing when he had the storyline with Roman, being put in a main event as a singles wrestler, and so to see the tables turn when it comes to Jay and Jimmy, whereas at first Jimmy was more of the one at the forefront when it came to this tag team, but since they branched off, the table, like I said, the roles were reversed, and Jay is more so of the focal point, especially because especially because of Jimmy's injuries that have held him back, and so it's just like I said, this natural progression of just fan support for Jay. So congratulations to him. And like I say, if anything, he was certainly a wild card for me when it came to my Royal Rumble predictions. He was a wild card for me when it came to my predictions for the Royal Rumble. And let's see. So I'm gonna give this Royal Rumble 3 out of 4 WWF Wing Eagle Championships. 3 out of 4. I'm thinking maybe 3 out of 4 Shawn Michaels Wing Eagle Championship belts. So that is my review of the 2025 Royal Rumble. And we're going to Monday Night Raw with Charlotte Flair, and made her appearance, and hinted at the idea of challenging Rhea Ripley for the women's Royal Heavyweight title. Then she mentioned NXT, and she also mentioned SmackDown with Tiffany. And it looks as though we're getting closer to potential Charlotte versus Tiffany. That's what a lot of signs are pointing to. But other than that, actually Monday Night Raw opened the show with Jey Uso with an emotional promo, and just talking about his journey from breaking into wrestling, just cementing his spot in a title match at WrestleMania. Gunther eventually interrupted him and said he would make Uso's life hell if he chose to challenge him. Because beating him again will add nothing to his legacy. We still say he's going to go to SmackDown, talk to Cody Rhodes. It seemed like he made it clear that he's going to challenge Gunther. We have Penta defeat Luke Kaiser by pinfall. Like I said before, Charlotte Flair cut a promo, and it definitely came off as like go away heat. As the fans were sick of Charlotte, tired of Charlotte, whatever. Only for Rhea Ripley to come out. Expected Charlotte to challenge her at WrestleMania, and Flair said if Rhea was too eager and she would stay go see Julia at NXT and Tiffany Stratton and SmackDown to figure out which champion aspires to make the challenge. We have Sami Zayn congratulate Jey Uso. Then we have New Day defeat Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee via pinfall, and the New Day were left out of the Royal Rumble as well. Especially when it came to that Kofi spot. Now we're feeling that, but it's another story. And that is pretty much it. And and also there was a match with CM Punk versus Sami Zayn, and of course we saw the winner of this match with CM Punk. And also I'm going to run down NXT. We have Lexis King make an appearance after winning the Heritage Cup. We also saw A-Town Down Under versus we also saw A-Town Down Under versus Oba Femi and Trick Williams. We have Stephanie Von-Kier versus JC Jane, Julia Roxanne Perez, and Bayley confront each other. And we have Kalani Jordan versus Carmen Petrovic. And we have Stephanie Von-Kier versus JC Jane, and the winner of this match obviously is going to be Stephanie Von-Kier. Then we have Shannon Stacks Lorenzo versus Ridge Holland. Reckless Ridge Holland. Of course, Reckless Ridge wins this match. Then we have Sol Ruka and Zarya versus Gigi Dolan and Taylor Paxley. Sol Ruka has definitely joined the dark side. And the winners of this match are Sol Ruka and Zarya. Especially after seeing Zarya talk about Reckless too as a metaphor. I thought that was way out of pocket. That was ridiculous. Like I said, so Zarya defeat Paxton and Gigi Dolan. We have Kalani Jordan versus Carmen Petrovic. The winner of this match by referee reversal actually is Carmen Petrovic. Surprise, surprise. And also we have Oba Femi and Trick Williams versus A-Town Down Under. The winners of this match, unfortunately, A-Town Down Under. We saw, of course, after the match, we saw Eddie Thorpe, tattooed Tatanka, show up, interfere by heading Trick Williams was trapped and causing the match. Then, especially with the Black History Month, which makes this even more disturbing, Eddie Thorpe takes that strap and whips Trick with it. Beats him like he's got a whip. Especially on Black History Month in February. Come on now. Wow. And the fact that Oba Femi walked away and let it happen. You want to talk about being reckless. Talk about being savage. Come on now. NXT, like what are we doing here? Come on now. Especially when it comes to Black History Month. Come on, we're supposed to be diversifying. And also, I have to say that Fandango, Fandango made his return. That was a very pleasant surprise, to say the least. But yeah, other than that, it's certainly a great week of wrestling. The highlight of this weekend was the Royal Rumble, as well as the Grammys. Everybody giving my Super Bowl predictions, and I believe that I don't have any stone unturned. Left no stone unturned. So now it is time for my birthdays. As we see on February 3rd, legendary Minnesota Vikings quarterback and NFL Hall of Famer Fran Tarkenton turned 85. On February 4th, NFL icon two-time Super Bowl champion and Hall of Famer, the greatest defender of all time, LT Lawrence Taylor, turns 66. On February 5th, Penta turns 40. On the same day, well, actually, you know what? Let me backtrack to February 4th. Rosa Parks also will celebrate her birthday. She will turn 112 on February 4th. So happy birthday to LT as well as Rosa Parks, rest in peace. February 5th, Penta turns 40. On that same day, of course, NFL Hall of Famer, Cowboys legend Roger Staubach turns 83. On the same day, Hank Aaron would have turned, Baseball Hall of Famer, the real home run king, Hank Aaron, would have turned 91. On the same day, the legendary Bobby Brown turns 56. On February 6th, Natalie Cole would have turned 75. Robert Townsend turns 68. Bob Marley would have turned 80. And on February 7th, Steve Nash turns 51. Chris Rock turns 60. And on February 8th, Alonzo Mourning turns 55. And that's it when it comes to your birthdays. And before I go, I would like to, of course, I would like to give a word of wisdom. And it is that, God wants us to have greater understanding of His Word, to use as our ultimate weapon of warfare against the enemy. And also God will give us a word that is directly geared toward our situation, no matter what it is. And so, no matter what, we have to know that that word is written, and that we can depend on it, we can rely on it, and we know that God will stand true to His word and deliver on His promises. And no matter what we have to go by, it is written. So, so God's word is the sword that we need in warfare. Of course, you're victorious because greater is He that is in you than he that is in the world. And that He that is in the world. When you put God in first place, you don't have to worry about being in last place. Please make sure to listen to this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you download podcasts. You can also stream this podcast on YouTube, youtube.com/Avon West Virginia. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for listening. And may this day be the very best day. May this day be the very best day of your life.